Your doctor won't tell you that there are 4 cheeses you should never touch and 4 you must eat if you're over 50. Unbeknownst to you, a 2023 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that eating the wrong kind of cheese can increase your risk of heart disease by up to 40%. Some popular cheeses include saturated fats that might indirectly lead to clogged arteries, high blood pressure, and even transient ischemic episodes, which are small strokes according to the same study. Far worse, many of these ostensibly harmless cheeses are marketed as gourmet or nutritional, which makes them far more dangerous. Moreover, it is not limited to the heart. Some cheeses can induce blood sugar issues, inflammation, and a subtle acceleration of cognitive impairment. Indeed, even something as simple and innocuous as a creamy wedge on a cracker or a grilled cheese sandwich could be triggering a health time bomb, especially if you're over 60 and your body's ability to metabolize fats and sodium is significantly reduced. And wait till you find out about the most lethal cheese. You've probably eaten it, and it's far more toxic than you've ever been told. We're going to reveal the cheese that experts now call a stroke on a plate, so stay tuned. Not all cheeses are nasty, so don't panic. Some can actually be quite good protectors of your bones, brain, and gut if you know which to choose. Before we begin, let us know where you're watching from in the space provided here. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more likes. Let's get started with the list of the top 4 cheeses that every person over 60 should eat. Fresh or buffalo mozzarella, in particular, is the 4th item. And if you're watching now, I want to know if you're with me. Type 1 in the comments section if you find this video to be meaningful. Type 0 otherwise. Let go of your stereotypes about mozzarella. If it's fresh and minimally processed, mozzarella is one of the best cheeses you can eat after the age of 60. Unlike the highly processed, rubbery shredded mozzarellas that you can get in plastic bags at the grocery store, real mozzarella, especially authentic buffalo mozzarella, is made with only water buffalo milk, salt, rennet, and cultures. Because of its purity, the cheese has a high protein content, a low sodium content, and a comparatively low saturated fat content. In fact, a 2022 study that was published in the European Journal of Nutrition found that older adults who consumed fresh, low-salinity cheeses, such as mozzarella, had better vascular flexibility and fewer arthritic flare-ups. That is most likely due to its high calcium-to-sodium ratio and natural anti-inflammatory properties. Another aspect of fresh mozzarella that appeals to seniors is its balance. It is rich in essential minerals, including calcium, phosphorus, and selenium, and is easier to digest because of its lower lactose content. Buffalo milk in particular has higher levels of zinc and vitamin A, as well as a higher antioxidant potential. Elderly people need these nutrients to keep their immune system strong and their eyesight clear. It's also one of the few cheeses that retains high levels of bioactive peptides, which are naturally occurring compounds created during fermentation and have been shown to have the ability to decrease blood pressure. Furthermore, mozzarella contains a significant amount of conjugated linoleic acid, a fatty acid that reduces inflammation and encourages fat metabolism. 2 factors that are especially important for treating long-term conditions include joint pain and arthritis. And mozzarella can be used in a variety of ways. Savor it in a straightforward salad, drizzle it over grilled vegetables, or, for a classic caprese, place it on tomatoes with basil and olive oil. It is rewarding without being taxing. Therefore, if you're looking for a cheese that supports heart, bone, and immune health, without making you feel bloated or raising your blood pressure, mozzarella is a terrific everyday pick. 3rd place goes to feta cheese. Feta often surprises people by making the good list because of its sour and salty flavor. Here's the truth though. When eaten in moderation, feta is among the healthiest cheeses for people over 60. Feta, which is typically manufactured from sheep's milk or a blend of sheep and goat milk, is easier to digest than cow's milk cheese because it contains less lactose and has a unique protein structure that is gentler to aging digestive systems. What truly sets feta apart is its nutritional profile. Although it has less fat than creamier cheeses, it is nevertheless high in calcium, protein, and vitamin B12, all of which are critical for maintaining bone strength, muscular development, and healthy neurological function as you age. One of the most significant benefits of feta is the presence of probiotics, which are good bacteria that are vital for intestinal health. Because seniors often struggle with digestive issues or a reduced variety of microbiomes due to medications and age-related changes, probiotic-rich foods like feta can help improve digestion, reduce bloating, and even increase immune function. Its brainy flavor means you don't need much to be pleased, so a small amount goes a long way without overloading you with calories or sodium. Additionally, portion control is naturally encouraged because it's a crumbly cheese. A simple addition of a few crumbles to a salad or roasted vegetables can bring nutrients and fillingness to your dinner. If you're concerned about the salt content, washing feta before using it can reduce the sodium content by up to 30%, making it even safer for those with high blood pressure. Second is Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese offers a delicious range of health benefits to seniors with its distinctive holes and delicate nutty flavor. Perhaps the most notable advantage of Swiss cheese is its very low sodium content, which is only 54 milligrams per ounce, or around 75% less than most other hard cheeses. As a result, Swiss is a fantastic option for elderly people who want to savor a classic cheese while monitoring their blood pressure or managing heart conditions. The natural aging process of Swiss cheese decreases lactose to nearly nothing, making it one of the most naturally lactose-free cheese options available. This helps to address the growing lactose sensitivity that many adults encounter as they age. Research indicates that Propionibacterium freudenreichii, the specific bacterial cultures used to manufacture Swiss cheese, produces beneficial compounds during fermentation that have been linked to improved immunological function in older adults. The same fermentation processes create vitamin K2, which is crucial for directing calcium into the bones, rather than allowing it to build up in arteries. Swiss cheese is also a wonderful source of calcium, with roughly 220 milligrams per ounce, which helps older people who are losing bone density due to age fulfill their higher calcium needs. The protein composition, at nearly 8 grams per ounce, is also exceptional, including the essential amino acids needed to prevent the loss that often accelerates beyond 60. Because it addresses the decreased absorption of vitamin B12 that is common with aging and impacts cognitive function, Swiss is particularly useful for brain health because of its high vitamin B12 concentration, which delivers over 16% of the necessary requirement per ounce. Furthermore, recent studies suggest that the specific fatty acid makeup of Alpine-style cheeses like Swiss may help reduce markers of inflammation in older adults. The distinctive holes in Swiss cheese serve a very useful purpose for elderly people. They are produced by gas-releasing bacteria that help break down the components of the cheese over time, making it easier to digest. 1. After the age of 60, goat cheese is one cheese that should be a staple in your refrigerator. Beyond just being a beautifully creamy pleasure, goat cheese has many more uses. It is one of the market's most nutrient-dense, anti-inflammatory, and readily digestible cheeses. The natural structure of the lipids in goat milk is attributed to short and medium-chain fatty acids. What does that mean to you? They are particularly helpful as your metabolism slows down with age because they are less likely to be stored as body fat and are easier for your liver to handle. Even better, goat cheese often contains less lactose and casein, the primary dairy protein that many people have trouble digesting, making it easier for the gut to digest and less likely to cause bloating or discomfort. Goat cheese contains a lot of probiotics, which are beneficial microorganisms that help with digestion, immunity, and even mood regulation. As we age, the variety of our gut microbiota decreases, potentially reducing immunity and increasing inflammation. The natural reestablishing of such balance is facilitated by goat cheese. It is also high in selenium, which is necessary for thyroid health and antioxidant defense, and zinc, which supports tissue regeneration and immunological function. But perhaps its greatest overlooked benefit is its impact on brain health. Goat cheese contains healthy omega-3 fats and a unique form of vitamin A that supports memory and cognitive function. Goat cheese and other nutrient-rich cheeses are being researched for their ability to delay the beginning of age-related cognitive decline and maybe prevent Alzheimer's disease. Unlike processed cheeses, goat cheese has a clear label, few ingredients, no additives, and no artificial components. Whether it's crumbled over a salad, smeared on whole grain toast, or mixed with veggies in an omelet, goat cheese enhances the flavor and utility of any dish. Let's move on to the less popular cheeses, which you should definitely avoid if you're over 60. We've already covered the top 4 cheeses you should eat. 4th place goes to American cheese. As you become older, you shouldn't include this cheese-like substance in your diet, even though it could make you miss the grilled cheese sandwiches of your childhood. The truth is that American cheese isn't truly a cheese. This processed meal is made by blending real cheese with emulsifiers, extra salt, artificial coloring, and preservatives. One slice has almost 15% of your daily recommended sodium consumption, so that alone should worry you. For seniors who already have hypertension or heart problems, this additional salt burden can significantly impact blood pressure control. Maintaining the balance of gut bacteria becomes increasingly important as we age, since gut health has a direct impact on immune function and inflammatory levels throughout the body. Disturbances in gut flora have been linked to the emulsifiers that produce that smooth texture. Furthermore, artificial phosphates, which are commonly found in processed cheese, may prevent calcium from being absorbed, which is a major problem for older adults who are already struggling with age-related bone loss. There is a remarkable correlation between these phosphate additions, which have been studied more in older populations, and accelerated arterial calcification, which is just a higher rate of artery hardening that occurs naturally as people age. Convenience simply isn't worth the health trade-offs because there are many excellent cheese substitutes that can satisfy your cravings without the uncomfortable ingredients. Blue cheese comes in third. Things get complicated at this point. Despite the fact that blue cheese often conveys a feeling of gastronomic sophistication, it can soon become detrimental to the aged. There's more to the unusual marbled mold than just taste. The active fungus that produces biogenic compounds like histamine and tyramine is Penicillium mold. Younger, healthy people swiftly break these down. However, the body's enzymatic activity decreases with age, and these chemicals continue to exist, causing real harm. According to a 2023 study that was published in the journal Food Chemistry, older adults who ingest large levels of tyramine may experience cardiac arrhythmias, headaches, and substantial increases in blood pressure. This biochemical roller coaster begins with dizziness for some people and ends with ER visits. Additionally, the presence of mold in blue cheese increases the risk of listeria contamination, especially if the cheese is soft, unpasteurized, or improperly stored. For those with compromised immune systems, that infection has the potential to be lethal. The fact that it strikes so quietly is worrisome. The first signs may be a flushed face, a pounding headache, or light palpitations. Then follows the ringing in the ears, the tightness in the chest, and a heavy sensation of pressure that is often misdiagnosed as stress or aging. In reality, a neurotoxic excess is slowly destroying your vascular stability. Furthermore, if you have high blood pressure or kidney problems, you should avoid blue cheese completely. It is one of the saltiest cheeses available, containing more than 400 milligrams of sodium per ounce. It is doubled in certain milder cheeses. When you add the high cream content found in some blue cheese varieties, you're dealing with a confluence of dangers that can clog your arteries and cause your blood pressure to rise. A lot of people don't think that their favorite blue cheese wedge is the cause of their regular stomach aches or headaches. On the other hand, it is often the secret cause of mysterious chronic problems in the elderly. Second is cream cheese. At first glance, cream cheese doesn't seem all that offensive. It's soft, spreads easily, and pairs nicely with morning bagels. But that smooth texture hides a potentially dangerous fat bomb, especially for people over 60. Cream cheese is high in saturated fat and low in protein. To put it another way, it gives you a high-calorie, low-nutrient hit that doesn't fully satisfy your body's nutritional needs. Instead, it encourages fat storage, especially in the stomach. When an energy-dense, nutrient-poor meal like cream cheese is added to a metabolism that is already slowing down due to age-related muscle loss, weight management becomes even more challenging. But another issue that is rarely mentioned in relation to cream cheese is bacterial infection. Because of its soft texture, cream cheese is more likely to have listeria, a deadly germ that can pose a major risk to the elderly. Listeria is not just a gastrointestinal disease. In older adults with weakened immune systems, it can result in meningitis or septicemia. The risk rises when cream cheese is left out of the refrigerator, even for brief periods of time, such as during breakfast spreads or office parties. Here's another thing. Flavors like strawberry or honey walnut are commonly used to sweeten cream cheese. The problem is made worse by these versions, which secretly contain extra sugars. Sugar raises insulin, which promotes fat accumulation and exacerbates inflammation. You now have to deal with meals that are high in fat, sugar, and maybe bacteria, all of which are found in what many people consider to be a harmless morning meal. It's a triple threat that, unfortunately, is often ignored for anyone over 60. 1. Spreads made with processed cheese. The one cheese that truly deserves the name stroke on a plate is processed cheese spread, the type that comes in tubs, jars, or those little triangles covered in foil. Don't be duped by its seemingly innocuous appearance, especially if it's marketed as kid-friendly or easy to spread. This is the most lethal cheese for anyone over 60. Why? Because of its shockingly high sodium content, excessive saturated fats, and a plethora of chemicals. It combines the worst elements of all previous offenders. Processed cheese spreads are extremely toxic due to their manufacturing method. They are not merely cheeses that have been softened. They are stabilized, emulsified, and chemically treated with synthetic materials such as sodium phosphate, a preservative linked to kidney damage, indeed kidney injury. If you already have impaired kidney function, which is more common as we age, increased phosphate significantly worsens it. They strain your kidneys over time, which can lead to disease or renal failure. This is also by no means a fringe theory. Numerous studies, including one from the National Kidney Foundation, have connected phosphate additives in processed foods to deteriorating kidney health. But that's just the beginning. Furthermore, some spreads are high in trans fats or partially hydrogenated oils, which are illegal in many nations, but are present in some inexpensive cheese products. Trans fats raise the risk of heart attacks and strokes by lowering HDL, the good cholesterol, and raising LDL, the bad cholesterol. Because of its creamy, smooth texture, some think it's lighter than hard cheese. However, in terms of nutrition, it's far worse. Those over 60 may experience an acceleration of cognitive impairment as a result of the inflammatory effects of synthetic chemicals on brain function. As a result, you ought to take this cheese out of your fridge today. In addition to being unhealthy, it has a strong biological component of aggression. In the end, cheese does not have to be the enemy of health after 60. If you pick it wisely, it might be among the most delicious things in your nutritional toolbox. The secret is to know which ones eventually harm your aging body and which ones help it. Now we want to hear from you. What percentage of these cheeses do you regularly eat? Have you made an effort to swap out some of the unhealthy ones for healthier ones? Kindly share your opinions and experiences in the space provided for comments below. We like to hear them. We appreciate you watching.